Hi, folks. Welcome to Up. This is a very exciting class that I've put together over the last couple of weeks, which has the purpose of helping you get your mindset right to shift from whatever it is that you're doing now, wherever it is that you're coming from, to come into a new mindset of becoming an entrepreneur. And I hope that you're going to join me on a journey to become a independent investor, a real estate investor, a portfolio owner, an entrepreneur. And I'm using this course not only to help you out, but I'm also using this course to train my agents as they come and join my company, Coleman Tanner Realty. But I wanted to put this out there and share it with anyone who's interested in becoming a real estate investor because it could help you tremendously. There's a lot of resources out there for you to pursue self development, personal development, the science of success, and so forth. Right, a lot of self help material has been around for the last couple of hundred years, since the 1800s that I know of, and probably before then. And and so I'm not trying to compete with any of those sources. As a matter of fact, this has influenced upon many of the popular sources of self-help, and specifically, a lot of the content that I have learned has come from Napoleon Hill and Think and Grow Rich. And so what I did here was I took a big picture view of what it's like to reach the end of the road, which would be owning a portfolio of real estate and being at the pinnacle of your career, your financial status, and social life, right? All of the good things that come along with being independently wealthy and successful. And so the pathway for us to travel on, I'm on this path myself, and my agents are going to be on this path as well, real estate agents slash investors. And you may decide that this could be the pathway that you want to take to become financially free. And so, with as you can see on the picture here, I have this iceberg in mind, and at the top of the iceberg is what everybody sees, right? They see the top of the iceberg that's above water, and they say, "Oh, look how cool that how great it is for that person to reach the top." But what they don't see is all of the work that's underneath getting to that level of success, that owning that portfolio of real estate. And as you can see, as the iceberg illustrates, there's a huge piece of ice underneath the water that people don't look at. And that's what it takes to become successful in real estate, especially if you want to be a real estate investor and own a portfolio of real estate. And so, as I was looking at my life and my journey in pursuing this portfolio of real estate and developing my career, becoming a real estate broker and becoming a real estate investor, I thought, how can I illustrate this to my future students, right? As if I'm your mentor, right? If you were sitting face to face with me and I'm coaching you along, I need to give you a roadmap to achieve that success. I need to educate you on the steps that it'll take to get you to own a portfolio of real estate. I need to show you a lot of things in order to make that happen, right? There's a lot of pieces to the puzzle. And so on a mindset level, because there's the technical skills and then there's the emotional intellectual skills. On a mindset level, we need to start with foundations, because you need to change your, maybe you don't, but oftentimes, as in my own personal case, I'm still evolving. I started studying real estate at 17. I'm going to be 47 in August. So for the last 30 years, I've been evolving. Now, I will say that I've observed, some people have evolved a whole lot faster, coming from a similar background as myself, have evolved a whole lot faster and have become a lot more successful in a lot faster time. I guess I'm a slow learner. But there's a lot of things that I'm working on and evolving. And I guess if you just never give up, if you never quit, then you will succeed. And maybe our level of success is going to be different than what we projected, that's always changing. It's always a moving target, right? So anyway, I'm still on this journey, and I want to share my experiences with you as I'm progressing through my journey, so that it can help you, right? So I could be your mentor, maybe help you speed the process up so you don't have to go as long as I did, as slow as I did, okay? So foundations is going to help you get your mindset right, which I'm working on this myself. I just took a self-assessment last week and I scored a 14, which is means I have low self-esteem. It's not a 50, it's not bottom, but it's a 14. I needed it to be like at a 1 to 5. That would be healthy self-esteem. And so I'm a work in progress myself, and I share that with you. I'm humble enough to share that with you, to show you that hey, I'm not perfect, and you don't have to be perfect either. That perfect is hard to reach. Okay, that's a really high pedestal, you know. So don't feel embarrassed or intimidated if you have a lower self-esteem score, because that's a moving target as well. What you feel like today is going to be different from what you feel like tomorrow. When you take these assessments, what you're thinking of today is going to be different from what you're thinking tomorrow, and it's different from what you thought of yesterday. So all I think of as what these self-assessments do is give you a present snapshot of where you are right now. It's not an indicator of your future, and it certainly is not an indicator of your past. Okay, when I took that 2 weeks ago and scored a 14, I felt comfortable that I was at least that good, right? Because if you looked at me 20, 30 years ago, I probably would have been at a 45 or 50. I know I've progressed in the last 20, 30 years, okay? So, and if you test me again in another 20, 30 years, maybe I'll score 1 to 5. That's my goal. So don't be put off by whatever your score is. But I do recommend that you take it and check back and take it again down the road and see where you're at. You don't have to take it. You can just make an assessment of how you feel by looking at the questions. But I think it's helpful to just mark it down, document it, and move on. Right? It's the best way to look and see where you've been, where you are today, is to look at where you've been and check the milestones. Check your progress, just like if you were taking a trip. What's your progress? Anyway, so foundations is about helping you set your self-esteem. I go into analysis, and then I talk about treatment, which you're going to see in this course. This is all about foundations, and then I just want to give you a preview of what's coming forward, right? So after we do foundations, the next course that I'm going to create, course number 2, is going to be a personal growth plan, followed by a professional growth plan. And that's where we're going to talk about developing your roadmap to real estate. And I'm going to show you how to analyze properties. We're going to get into a little bird's eye view in the professional growth plan of what the commercial real estate courses that I'm going to be creating and offering in the future are going to entail, so that you can decide whether or not you want to use those as resources. And I'll give you other resources that you can go and research so that you can become well-versed and well-educated in the subject of commercial real estate, so that you can be successful in developing your own real estate portfolio and reach that level of financial independence. Okay, then in the next course, I'm calling it Ignite Your Fire, and it's about expanding your growth. It's about scaling up, leveling up your whatever you've done from the previous modules, the previous courses in your business and your professional growth. It's going to put it on fire, right? Put it on steroids, expand it, scale up, so that you can get faster growth, more momentum. And then by this time, when you're functioning at this level, you're well on your way to being financially independent. And the last course that I want to provide to you guys and gals is a course on serenity, because I think that while it's great to have ambition and pursue success and life experiences, I think that life experience is more valuable than money. And while it's great to pursue those life experiences and have diversity in your experiences and a higher quality of life, I think serenity is like the pinnacle of our human experience. And so I want to express what that level of enlightenment looks like. And I'm still learning about it myself. I'm still experiencing different things to reach that higher level of the human experience, that higher level of enlightenment. And so, yes, so the last course will be on serenity and peace, having inner peace. And, I don't know, just, I do know. It's about having, taking a step back and taking your time and being tranquil and being calm and being serene. That's, of course, everything else has to be in a good place before you can reach that level, right? So we're gonna get there, and then we'll talk about slowing down and getting calm and getting serene and enjoying every moment in life, especially enjoying the present moment, which is really critical. And that's what I'm. Even though I'm pursuing all these other things, I'm really honing in on being present, right? Being having clarity and being focused on what's going on right now and appreciate every moment. Okay, so that's what the up program. It's hey, if you're starting at the bottom, there is only one direction to go from here, and that's up. Let's dive into foundations. All right, so in foundations we have four different subtopics or subcategories, four modules, if you will. And the first one is to define what foundations is. We're going to define what your self-image is, your self-esteem, your self-confidence. Then we're going to do an assessment to figure out where you are in your self-image and your self-esteem. And then number three is to treat. I'm going to provide you treatment options, some strategies these are self-help strategies to improve your self-esteem, your self-image. And then number four is an opportunity to maintain that by joining a Facebook group that I've created called Up Together, where we can all bond together inside of this group, share our success stories, share our challenges, and grow together. Okay? So what I have here inside the big circle is the three words self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-image. We're going to define, so look what Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines those as. And the purpose of understanding self-esteem and taking advantage of modifying our self-esteem to the highest level is because a positive self-image is the foundation for the science of personal achievement. In other words, if you want to utilize the science of personal achievement to become financially independent, to become wealthy, then it all starts on a foundation of positive self-esteem. You've got to get your self-esteem up and healthy in order to be able to produce achievement in your life. All right, next slide. So we're going to look at three definitions for self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-image. The first one, self-confidence, is a confidence in oneself and one's powers and abilities. Self-esteem. Self-esteem is a confidence and satisfaction in oneself. It's self-respect. And a self-image is one's conception of oneself or of one's role. Okay, I have a case study. So I'm going to pause this and I'm going to open the video up on a different video because I can't play it on this screen here. So bear with me and I'll see you inside of the next module where we can watch this case study by Nico Everett on YouTube.